President Trump signed another executive order that reverses protections for transgender people. It drew praise from his supporters. The order reads, "It is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female. These sexes are not interchangeable." But some in Minnesota are concerned. Esme Murphy looked into what that means here, and she joins us now. Hi there, Esme.
Hi, Amelia. Well, the transgender community here is reacting with anger and even fear. State Representative Lee Finke says one of the big issues is how the new order fits in with Minnesota law, which has widespread transgender protections. Finke says transgender people here and across the country plan to fight this presidential order in court.
There is no other thing for us to do except for organize, use the law, use public opinion, and fight against this movement. Otherwise, we're done for.
Now, I did reach out to constitutional law professor David Schultz. He says Trump's order will not override most Minnesota laws.
Trump cannot issue an executive order, and Congress cannot overrule the states on this, because this is a basic matter of federalism, that states have a right to be able to pass legislation that provides more protections than the United States government.
However, Professor Schultz says the order will likely affect federal laws, including possibly benefits for federal employees. Schultz says this issue and specifics of this order are bound to end up in court for months, perhaps even years. We did reach out to groups who support the executive order, but as of airtime have not heard back. Amelia?
All right. Thank you, Esme.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got to be honest with you guys. The meltdowns from the left are never ending, okay? I was full, stuffed off of W's, the W's that we've been taking for the last 3 months straight, okay? I'm so full, I'm getting fat, I'm bulking on W's, and I'm drunk off of liberal tears. So I'm full and I'm drunk, okay? And I don't know what to do, but we just keep getting more liberal tears, more boohoo, whining, and cry, because the liberals are upset. The activists are upset with the fact that Trump is rolling back so-called transgender protection, aka special rights and privileges, okay? Because this is not about protecting trans people. This is about whether or not you want to allow things that the American people generally just don't agree with, right? When it comes to this issue, that's what it's about, okay? It's about how we want to organize society. That's really what it's about. And again, let's just say that the woke activists, they're not having a good time accepting the reality that this country is moving in a different direction when it comes to this issue. Take a look.
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? You chicken meatball-headed motherfucker. Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Yeah, go ahead and kick me out. It'll be on every news organization in the country. You. Get your good glamour shots there, motherfucker. I remember the shit that you said on the floor. I remember the shit that you said, misgendering Lee Finke, lying about us. Go f*** yourself. I can stand in here and yell all day. I don't give a shit. You want to drag me out? We're going to have a bunch of cameras on us, including that one, that we're going to put on all the news organizations. What? What? I can't hear you, motherfucker. What? Exactly. Shut the f***.
Boy. Wow. I am speechless. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is hilarious to me. These meltdowns are legendary, okay? This next 4 years is about to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I don't know how much more of this I can take, man. I don't know. Yo, wow. So, with that being said, I want to explain to you guys real quick exactly what you saw there, okay? That was a group of woke activists who were inspired by the fact that Trump has now issued the executive order saying there are only two genders. So then they decided to take it out on the Republicans in the Minnesota House, okay, because the Republicans were trying to hold a meeting and they said, hey, these Republicans are connected to Trump and this is a power grab, right? This is a coup happening, okay? So they decided to protest the meeting. And yeah, that's what you guys saw. That's what you saw, okay? An insurrection. Liberals, they're having a hard time defending this because, as I told you guys, the American people, they're not on board with the woke agenda anymore, right? It's not that popular. And when you go on certain shows and you try to defend something that, again, is not very popular, it kind of ends up like this.
Do you think there should be more than two genders in America?
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means there are two genders, male and female. Do you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able to
Harry,
answer.
how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many genders are there?
What's the legal? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least two. At least two. That satisfies.
Well, how many more other than male, female?
That's a TikTok answer.
No, there's at least two.
Yeah.
There's at least two.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and female.
Kid is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are two.
Okay, Dave.
How many more are there after male and female, Harry?
There's at least two. Now, anyway, let me get back to
what
How many more are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least two.
What are the other ones?
Harry, let's try it this way. You're a female. What is the other gender?
It's so funny. It's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they all interrupt and there's no problem.
You've just been asked a very simple question, Harry.
Conversation with peers, not you, Mr. Como. Relax for me.
Harry,
Take a
you
breather.
simply
Thank
got
you so
asked
much.
if there are at least two genders, how many more are there than male and female?
You asked me about Donald Trump's executive order. I'm trying to explain how legally it makes absolutely no sense and it's going to get sued in court. Then we go into culture wars with Dave Rubin and this Ferguson guy asking how many genders are there. I'm trying to answer your question. They're screaming their faces off about issues that don't matter.
I'm asking you.
Oh God, this child.
And here's,
I'm asking you, Harry. How many genders
and I'm
are
answering
there?
your question.
Harry,
I've answered your question.
Harry, how many genders are there?
Two. There are at least two.
Two or at least
two?
two?
100.
Hang on, Ben. Hang on, Ben. I've got
More
this.
or less than 100.
Can I answer the question?
Yes, Cornell. Answer the question.
Can I answer the question
Yes.
for Brother Harry? Because Brother Harry trying to hold
help
on.
him out, Cornell.
That according to Shakespeare, all of us are androgynous. There are men and there are women. There are different sizes of human beings, all made in the image of a God that has a dignity and a sanctity. And if you're going to try to start demonizing precious trans folk, then I'm going to be fighting. But it's not. But
okay, Cornell, I agree with them. I agree with them. I agree. Don't demonize trans folks. This is all the left has left.
Yeah, so again, this is hilarious, right? Absolutely hilarious. Liberals are bending over backwards to boohoo, whine, and cry about Trump's executive order declaring that there are only two genders. And then when they're asked the question of, okay, well, how many genders are there since you disagree with this? I can't tell you. They can't tell you. They can't tell. They want to argue about the legality of it instead of just the basics of, okay, well, since you disagree with this, how many genders are there, right? Wow. Incredible stuff. So this Canadian news anchor decided to ask Pierre Poilievre, who is likely to become Canada's next prime minister after Trudeau got kicked to the curb. He's going to ask Mr. Poilievre what he thinks about Trump's executive order. And this is also a hilarious exchange as well, too. So without further ado, let's get to it.
On his first day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally?
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am people who say cis man. There are people there who they say they're gender neutral. Well. You are a man. Yes, there are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're they're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here, whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two?
I'm only aware of two, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But
yo, this is hilarious for so many reasons. First and foremost, the way that Mr. Polyev here is treating this reporter like a child for asking this question is so funny. And that's honestly the way that anybody who is asked this question by one of these woke reporters, that's how they should treat it, right? They should treat it, okay, well, how many genders are there? Right? Ask them, do you agree with it? Do you think there are more than two genders? Right? How many are out there? Please educate me on this topic. Right? Now, this reporter who is woke, okay, or he may not be woke, I don't know. It's fascinating because he called himself a cis man, right? But clearly in his mind, he knows there, he believes there's only two genders, right? He knows that in his mind, okay? But see, because he's woke and he has to adhere to the woke ideology, he can't upset the mob. He can't come out here and directly say exactly how he feels, right? That's why he has this little smirk on his face because he knows how silly of a conversation this has become, right? So it's just hilarious to watch this. Because everybody who is asked this question, they end up kind of looking like this, right? Trying to answer the question.
I'm aware of two. And as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone to make their own personal decisions. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of government I'm going to run.
And with that, the current government, they currently have passports that allow people to put on, gender neutral on their passport. Advocate groups want the government, mind you, the outgoing government, to ask the U.S., would the U.S. recognize these passports, obviously on their way out, if you are the next prime minister? Is that something that you would advocate for?
I have to be honest. Yeah. I have to be honest with you. I just saw your segment on homeless encampments that are popping up all over Toronto. We've got 25% of our population in poverty. Housing costs have doubled. Crime is rampaging through our streets. I just find it to be a strange priority to spend time talking about this. My priority is to give people back control of their lives, bring back Canada's promise that anyone who works hard gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. That's the promise we need for Canadians. If Liberals want to talk about different labels for gender that they want to put on passports in the United States, they can do that. I'm going to talk about the things that will bring home Canada's promise.
Wow. Damn, that was perfect. Now, this guy is a Canadian conservative, right? Which has his own meaning to it. Hey, it seems as if he's going to be the next prime minister of Canada. I personally think that him and Trump are probably going to butt heads on some things, okay? And when the time comes, we're going to talk about it, specifically when it comes to trade. They're definitely going to butt heads. But regardless, hey, Canada's moving in a new direction. And you can see that, but it's just hilarious because Democrats, liberals, the progressives, they got to pick and choose. Are you going to double and triple down on this? Right? Are you really going to boohoo, whine, and cry about this? Are you going to make a big deal out of this? Because if you do, then it's just going to show the American people once again that, hey, Democrats, their priorities are out of line and they're not aligned with the American people when it comes to some of these issues, especially these social issues. And it's just going to further erode their credibility, right? And their ability to recover. Okay. So, it's just funny to watch all this stuff happen in real time. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.